Welcome to Trustee Talk. I'm your host, Michelle Beckham Corbin, and my guest today is Anderson Township Trustee Kevin O'Brien. Kevin will be sharing some really interesting events that are happening in Anderson Township. Kevin, it's so great to have you back here today.
Michelle, it's a pleasure to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you. And as always, I love discussing events with you. Anderson Township has wonderful things going on at all times, and so this is the viewing audience's opportunity to hear what those things are. So why don't we jump right in?
Okay, great. We're going to talk about what's going to happen here in February, and then also a little bit in March. Obviously, there's not as much going on in the township during the winter months, during the deep winter months, as maybe in the summertime, but we'll give you a flavor for what's going on, and most of all of it's inside, of course. So,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, first on the list here, Beechmont Players here at the Anderson Center, and their production in February will be entitled The Perfect Wedding. And that's on Friday and Saturday, February the 8th and 9th at 8 p.m. and then also on the Sunday, and then the following weekend too, on Friday and Saturday night, the 15th and the 16th of February, and again that next Sunday, also Saturday night too, or Saturday afternoon. Tickets are $15, and if you're a student, a senior, or active military, you do get a price break, and that's $13. For any information, 233-2468. Or, of course, their website is beechmontplayers.org. So, Perfect Wedding, that sounds like fun.
You know, with all of the TV shows about weddings that are on right now, that play sounds very interesting, because I guess the question would be, is there ever such a thing as a perfect wedding?
Well, I guess you need to attend one of these performances and find out.
I know, that raises my curiosity.
Yeah, good. Also, the Anderson Township Park District is putting on a magic show, and that'll be at the Beechmont Beach Acres Recplex. They're on Beechmont Avenue. That's on Wednesday, February the 20th, and that's from 10 a.m. to about 10:45. So it lasts about 45 minutes. It's very reasonably priced at $1 per child. So any questions on that, call the Park District, 388-4513, or their website, which is andersonparks.com. So I haven't been to a magic show in a while, so maybe on that Wednesday, on February 20th, from 10 a.m. to 10:45. Sounds like it's something for the little kids, because otherwise they'd be in school.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking. Being on a Wednesday, it's probably perfect for those preschool, kindergarten, and possibly homeschool students too.
Sure. Okay, great. At the Anderson Center here, the ever-popular Tea and Tiaras.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're bringing that back.
Yeah, I have not been to one of those, and I don't know that I'll attend this one, but I'm sure the people that do have a good time. That's on Saturday, February the 23rd, from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Reservations are required. They're actually necessary.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, I strongly urge people to reserve their place.
Early. Yeah, I have heard in recent years that it is sold out pretty quickly, because it's a very popular event, and it gives your little ones the opportunity to be princesses.
That's right. And that's on Saturday, February 23rd, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Contact Amy Meyer here at the center, 688-8400, or the township website, andersontownship.org.
That'd be a good one.
Yep. Okay. Party on the Plaza, the Winter Show. There is one planned towards the end of February, on Thursday, February 28th, 5:30 to 9:30, and it'll be here in the center, but it'll be inside, in the atrium here, the upper and the lower atrium. The band still hasn't been chosen, but I'm sure Eric with the chamber will pick out a decent band. He's very good at that.
Oh yeah.
And that's Party on the Plaza Winter Show, February the 28th on a Thursday from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Admission is free, and if you've been to one before, you know that the food and drinks, everything is $3 or less, and that does include adult beverages if you want. And then the food's very good.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant marketing that they're calling it Party on the Plaza Winter Show.
Yeah.
You know, just with the kind of strange weather we've been having, it could be a warm day and people might think that it's going to be outside because, we have such great events in the summer. But it definitely is inside. It's
going to be inside in the atrium. And if you've been in the atrium when there's some music being played, the acoustics are very good. So, and you can overlook, and it's a good place to have. Enjoy a program like that. If any information, call the Chamber, 474-4802, or their website, andersonareachamber.org.
That'd be a good one.
And into March, there's a couple of things here we have on our list. Briabi Productions Steel Magnolias. That'll be here at the Anderson Center in the theater, and that'll be on Friday and Saturday, March 1st and 2nd, 8 p.m. Also Saturday, there's a matinee at 2 p.m., and then the next week, Thursday through Saturday, March 7th through 9th at 8 p.m., and then Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets are $12. Any questions, info is 497-5000 or briabiproductions.com. So Steel Magnolias on those several dates, the first and second weekend in March. Sounds like fun.
And that's a great production. I've seen Steel Magnolias, and that's a great, great story.
Okay, good.
So it should be a good one.
Yeah. And again, the theater, if you haven't been to the Anderson Center and the theater, the seats are very comfortable.
Oh, very.
The seats are nice and wide. I mean, it's just
It's very spacious, plenty of leg room. Not a bad seat in the entire place.
No, and just the facility is just superb. So I'd encourage you, if you haven't been there, maybe this is the show you come to.
Might be the one that'll get you interested.
Yeah. Okay. Good. The Anderson Park District is putting on a visit by the Cincinnati Zoo, and that'll be again at the Recplex. That's on Beechmont Avenue. The address is 6915 Beechmont Avenue, Beach Acres, and that's on a Wednesday, March the 13th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., so just an hour long. Again, very reasonably priced at $1 per child, and any information you need, call the Park District, 388-4513. Again, their website again is andersonparks.com.
And another great event for the little guys, given that it's a Wednesday morning, so perfect for preschoolers, kindergartners, and homeschoolers.
Yeah, again, Wednesday morning, March 13th, 10 a.m. To 11 a.m., and that's at Beach Acres at the Recplex there. So that pretty much sums it up, unless we get some snow and the kids can go sled riding somewhere.
Yeah. What do they say? Teachers teach the kids to do some kind of little snow dance or something that helps to bring the snow on so they can be off from school.
Okay, well, that
so
sounds
maybe
like fun.
if any kids are viewing, they can do that snow dance and go enjoy the slopes and hills of Anderson Township.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much sums it up for our events for February and March. So I've got a couple notes here on some things to look forward to at Anderson Township from a development point of view, and we'll cover those, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, wonderful. Go ahead and bring us up to date on some of the new developments.
From what I see, in 2013, it's going to be a pretty good year for Anderson Township. Not to go into too many specifics, but the River Downs horse race track that's been purchased by a company in Nevada, and they've developed plans to redevelop that down there. They're actually the total investment is going to be about $200 million.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money, and they have started on that. They've had to get some permits and that kind of thing, and that's all in the process. Obviously, the work is going to create a number of construction jobs, and once the facility is done, it'll create some jobs down there too. And hopefully it'll spur some development down that way too. So that'd be nice. That'd be good to see. And again, I'm sure that there'll be more specific on that as the project moves forward. They'll be in the paper and that kind of thing. So that's down to River Downs.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, good. One of the other things, maybe some people have noticed that there's been some new buildings along Beechmont Avenue at the old Kingpin Bowling Alley site. The building was torn down a while ago, and if you've driven by there, you've noticed some new buildings going up. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings, and First Financial Bank has a building that's opening, plus there's some other things that are going to medical facilities in the back there. That's the area of the township that we're loosely calling downtown Anderson. Oh. So
I was wondering what that would be referred to. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're it's kind of loosely downtown Anderson, between Asbury and like 5 Mile Road. So if you notice, the buildings are a little closer to the street than the old way of having the parking lots in front of the buildings, and you had the buildings several hundred or more feet from the road there. We encourage the developers to bring the buildings closer to the street and have parking in the back. Should be plenty of lighting back there too, but it gives a little more of a downtown feel to it. So
more accessible.
More accessible. So, is that actually? I think a couple of the places are open now, and by the time as the spring and summer rolls on, more and more things are going to happen and be open in that area again, what we're calling downtown Anderson.
Yeah, I've heard the Buffalo Wild Wings is supposed to be a pretty good-sized building.
Yeah, yes, it is. Okay, another big thing that I see happening in the new year in 2013 is the Encore area, which is North Anderson. That's out past the village of Newtown, out Round Bottom Road, and that it's where the mine, the surface mining used to be. There is actually an Encore area plan committee that's looking at that whole area. There's been about 25 or 30 of us that have been looking at that for about 8 or 9 months, and trying to decide what would be a good, if we had our druthers, what would be a good use of that property out there, because it's almost, it's more than 3 square miles. It's about 3.5 square miles, and largely undeveloped. And there's some big potential there for businesses and many thousands of jobs and some other things. So we've been pulling some things together, and the committee's work will be known in the spring and perhaps early summer, and that'll be kind of used as a guide when people come in and if they want to do something out there. And some of the plans up there have been maybe a commuter light rail station with a stop down in downtown Cincinnati. There's actually a rail line there now.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. It used to be for for heavier stuff, but it could be converted to light rail, and it goes virtually downtown. There is just a very short segment that would have to be connected to the to get you downtown.
To add on to it.
To add on to it, and it's a very short segment. My understanding is it's much less than a mile. So in the rail line that's existing, it's about 17 miles. So that's an idea. There's also places we've identified some areas for single-family home sites, and there's also some large lakes out there from the old surface mining operation. The lakes are many feet deep and be perfect for recreational use. Maybe some boating, fishing, perhaps even skiing, a moderate amount of skiing.
Oh, wow.
Ken Kushner, the director of the Anderson Park District, is on the committee with me, along with many others, and that's an option. I mean, it's something we've talked about.
That's really exciting to know that you have this, fairly large parcel of land, and that you can really kind of dream up all kinds of ideas, and then just kind of come up with the best use for that land.
Yes. And
it's like a blank slate almost.
It honestly, most of it is blank. So now, obviously, as a governmental body, we can't dictate what the property owners do, but if we have a vision plan, I think that gives them some guidance.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so that's great.
Some of the other things that we were thinking about out there, obviously there's some places out there for campus-style office buildings too. And if you can envision an office building 3 or 4 stories tall, employing many hundreds of people with good paying permanent jobs, and I would say there's at least 5 or 6 potential sites for those kinds of buildings. And when you add those up, you're talking many thousands of jobs and many millions and millions of dollars of development and permanent jobs too. So those are we've identified some of those sites in this area too. So there's some big potential there.
Oh yeah.
And again, that committee's final report should be available again late spring or sometime in the summertime.
Okay, and I'm sure you'll be giving us an update at that time.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. A couple other things I'd like to talk about briefly. Clough Pike along Corbley and between Corbley and Bartels Road, down there where the Anderson Township pub is, that kind of thing. There's been some work down there. They've been doing a lot of infrastructure work, doing some work with the electric lines and the gas lines and the water lines and the drainage lines. There's always been some problems in the back with the parking lots with the water coming off the hill, and the water gets underneath the blacktop, and then the blacktop breaks away.
Yeah.
So one of the issues is that we've got to find a way to drain that water coming off the hill properly so that the blacktop stays in place, so the parking lots
are secure and safe.
Are secure and look and safe. So, along with all the other work down there, there's going to be some sidewalks. There's actually going to be a sidewalk that extends over past the Historical Society's building there. And then if you know where Bartels Road is going up to Mercer Elementary School and Turpin High School, the township's going to put the plans are to put a sidewalk in there too.
That'll be great, especially for a lot of the students or even spectators or families that come for some of the sports events,
Right.
you know, that kind of park along the side, you'd be able to walk up.
And you'll be able to walk down, and if you want to go before or after an event, if you want to go down and trade, you know, have a meal or something at some of those places, it'd be much easier to walk down there rather than get in your car and drive down and that kind of thing. So we're looking for good things to happen in that part of the township too.
That's definitely a win-win, because then the businesses will maybe get some extra business, you know, more accessible for folks coming from some of the sporting games. So.
That's always the idea, Michelle.
Yep, win-win's always good.
Whenever you can do that, it's actually, you know, win-win-win. You know, township benefits, the businesses benefits, and the residents benefits.
Right,
So,
triple win.
there you go. Last thing I want to speak about today is some things going on with Salem Road, and that would be like between Bernie and Sutton Road. If you've driven down there before, you know the road is pretty wide, but there's not a lot of striping there, and you know, needs some dressing up, some fixing up. So we've in the past year or so, we've done some studies with the UC students in Hamilton County and some others. There's going to be some crosswalks put in there along Salem Road. There's going to be some striping, so it's a little better defined on where cars should go and where cars can park, and that'll all be happening here. We expect that to happen this year too. So
that's good, just to make everything just a little bit easier for people to kind of figure out where they need to be on the road.
Right.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah. So and with the addition of some sidewalks down there too. So there is some sidewalks, but there's also some spots that don't have sidewalks. So you know, we're trying to build as many sidewalks and connect as many as we can.
Yeah, which is, you know, great for two reasons. Number one, it's connecting communities and connecting people to businesses, but then also it's just adding to the whole health factor, right? If
Right.
people can get out and walk instead of, you know, taking their car, then that's only going to help them as well.
Right. You know, it'll help dress the area up a little bit to make it a little nicer looking. Not that it isn't nice now, but you know what I mean.
Just make it look better.
Make it look better, and if the businesses and the residents can benefit all it makes the money spent worth all that much more. So
Absolutely.
okay, that's all I have today. So I wish, you know, hope everybody has a good start to a new year, and you know, maybe we'll get a little more snow and get out there and enjoy the snow, sled riding a little bit.
Yeah, 2013, it feels kind of weird to be saying 2013, you know, it's just an odd number, but I think it's going to be a great year for the township. All of you have created such wonderful plans and working with the citizens to make Anderson Township a wonderful place to live, and so this year is going to be a great one.
That's always the first thought it's always the first part of a plan when you're developing something. How can we make this place a little better?
That's right. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for being my guest today. I always love talking about the events with you, because selfishly it also lets me know what's going on in the township before anybody else. Yeah. But anyway, again, a pleasure to have you here. And I wanted to thank you, viewers, for tuning in to this edition of Trustee Talk. I'm Michelle Beckham Corbin, your host, and I will see you on the next show. Thanks for viewing.